Like we have all the other stuff.
We'll call this meeting of the Committee of the Whole to order at 6:15. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Allen?
Here.
Mayor Murphy?
Here.
Mr. Miller?
Here.
Mr. Doherty?
Here.
Mr. Burchett?
Here.
Mrs. Witt?
Here.
Ms. Marcus?
Here. We have the approval of the minutes from our July 27th meeting. If nobody has any changes, corrections, they will be approved as they are. Hearing none, they are approved. Finance Director, you have a report.
No report, thank you.
City Manager,
I have no items, Ms. Marcus, thank you.
Mayor,
Nothing at this time, thank you.
Law Director,
No, ma'am, thank you.
Clerk of Council.
I have nothing, thank you.
I will go into business. The first item is the Veterans Day discussion.
So we got Veterans Day coming up, and I wanted to get this topic out in front of you guys before we get so close to the event. The last couple of Memorial Day, Veteran Day ceremonies that we've had very minimal bricks that are being dedicated at those ceremonies. In fact, this last Memorial Day, we had 0 bricks dedicated. Currently, right now, as it stands, and we are past our deadline for Veterans Day, we have 0 bricks for the dedication at the ceremony. So I wanted to see if there was something that we wanted to do in lieu of having a ceremony, given the fact that we don't have any bricks to dedicate at that ceremony. At Memorial Day, we had the wreath dedication, and we can do something similar to that. During COVID, we were not able to meet to have a ceremony, so we did a video. We posted it on social media and stuff like that. I just wanted to kind of gauge your guys' thought process on how you want to do a ceremony or not a ceremony, but still recognize the veterans for their time and their service and things like that. Do you guys have any thoughts? At one point in time, I know Terry and I spoke about maybe even doing something a little bit more intimate for the people that actually were, purchasing the brick or their name is on the brick, do a brick setting ceremony, something like maybe before a council meeting, where it wouldn't be so much of a formal thing, where we could go out there, they could help set the brick in the memorial itself.
Did you say that we can't get the vets to come either?
Correct. On Veterans Day, because we have moved it to 11/11 at 11 o'clock, the VFW already has something else occupying that time. Also, when we tried to reach out to Wright Pat during that window, most of their speakers are taking up doing other things on the base. So the past few years, we've been reaching out and using staff who have served within the service. I think last year we had Tracy do it, which is cool, and I really like tying that piece back in. But aside from just the speaker part, the brick dedication is a huge portion of the ceremony, and because we are not dedicating any bricks, I'm just trying to get an idea of what you guys think that you want to do. Lastly, just keep in mind too that the community attendance, the response from the non-staff and non-council to attend this event has been very, very poor over the past few years.
Well, I don't think we should ever let it go unrecognized, and if the community doesn't come, that doesn't keep us from coming and honoring those that have given their lives and served our country. I think we should always have some sort of a ceremony. And I think we should always have a local pastor doing the prayer.
Okay.
That's my feeling.
What else within the ceremony is kind of where I'm kind of looking for some direction, because
Well, I don't think it would be a bad idea to reach out, just like Ora's brother. She had all that about him. I don't think it'd be a bad idea to let her represent that and have that read, because I definitely think people that have died in service should have public recognition.
sure, which we do.
Well, we didn't.
We did at the, we did at the Memorial Day ceremony.
No, you,
No, you
Yeah.
did not.
you
Wh-
didn't read what I'd written for you to read.
So I think we should let her bring that back and have that represented.
Okay,
And then anyone else, we should put it out in the community. If they have something they would like presented about their, someone that has served or, on staff, and I think Tracy did a super job last year, and I would willingly love to hear someone else. I think Brent did it one year.
John Howard, was that,
yep.
he did one year, and I
Yeah.
thought he did great.
Yeah,
see
yeah,
that.
they're all doing great at that portion of it. I'm just asking,
Yeah.
what would you like the ceremony to look like? Because we don't have the brick dedication piece. And last Memorial Day, we dedicated the wreath, and I heard there was some confusion on what we were doing. Why were we dedicating a wreath? Because we didn't have bricks to dedicate.
But do-
Looking at Veterans Day, we don't have bricks to dedicate.
But do other cities have bricks? What do
No.
they do? Well,
They still
then,
have a ceremony.
So
Or they
Centerville
just have
has a
ceremony
partnership
without the bricks.
with the school where they bring out kids and they sing and they play in the band. So that's what they do. They also read for Memorial Day part of the Declaration of Independence. So other cities are doing other things. Their ceremonies are a little bit bigger than what we have because they have the connection with the schools. And so they can pull the parents of those individual kids in to participate in that ceremony.
You think it's the attendance has just dropped off because of the bricks?
No, I don't think it's
No.
dropped off just because of the bricks, but I do think that whenever we do have a brick, the people that are being recognized show up.
with family.
I remember those chairs used to be completely full, and thank goodness for staff. I know it was really slim Memorial Day, and staff was
Yeah.
out there, you know.
Right.
That was good, and we appreciate that. And if it came down to it again, I'm fine with doing that, but I understand what you're saying. What do you want it to look like, you know, at the end of the day?
Yeah.
But I think we should do something, you know.
Right, and I'm just stumped right now, honestly, because we did the wreath. We can do the wreath again.
Well, I don't think we need to dedicate anything, really. My opinion is just,
Just
yeah.
a speaker and a pastor. Is that what you guys are
Just
thinking?
pastor, and then if we can get anyone that would come up and speak, that would be good. Just have a speaker, and then if we can find anyone that, even in the city,
We can, through our connections with the Bayside Mayor, through Dayton Mayors and Managers Association, you know that we're able to reach out to the colonel, and we
Right.
should be able to get future speakers.
The speakers
From
is not a
other ways.
concern. The speakers is
well, if
not.
we have the speakers and we just, we can do the pledge ourselves. We don't need the vets to do that. We can't have the guns or anything, but
Right.
maybe we could have the flag out there, just do the Pledge of Allegiance, have a speaker, and then if anyone would like to get up and talk, or like Orr's thing, or anything like that, we can add that to it.
And it is gonna be on Saturday this year, not
It-
a work day, so that may make a difference, and I just think we need to, like, announce it at our seniors, announce it, put it out there and keep inviting people, because a lot of people, they'll say, oh, I forgot. And so if we keep reminding them, maybe we'll have more, with it being on a Saturday at 11 o'clock.
Also, I'd suggest I know it's hard to get the VFW honor guard, but even Boy Scout troop holding a flag would be nice. And I'd love to see if we had, like your signs you put at the corner and other places in the city, if we just had a sign right out there saying, come here on this day and time.
And we've done
People
that.
drive by it every day.
And we've done that.
Yeah.
And still, I mean, that's the thing, is I'm just saying that we've had the,
No, we didn't say the messenger book. I know.
Have we thought of doing something other than bricks?
Like what?
Like, I go into small towns out rural Ohio, and they have
The
I mean,
banner.
our streets are bare.
The banner
Our-
program,
Our
right?
ban, like, all our light signs are bare as you go through the city. Like,
Yeah, ban-
some of these small towns you go to, so I deployed out of St. Mary's. And if you go to St. Mary's, there are hundreds of
They're banners.
faces of banners on these light poles. Now, I know there's an expense to that. Obviously, there's an expense to the bricks, but it's something that we could do to showcase who veterans are from Moraine. Instead of just a brick that's over here on the ground that maybe not many people come over here and look at it.
Right.
At least with that, you got it. I mean, we got Main Street, and how many people come across that bridge and go across that back and forth? I mean, it could be something to highlight, and maybe more people would be engaged instead of just the brick. I'm not saying the bricks are a bad thing. I have one out there. I'm just saying something else to highlight that, showcase, the veterans, Memorial Day, all that kind of stuff. And that's not the suggestion or the idea, but it's something else to throw at it to make it maybe a little bit better, a little more enticing for people to come. I don't know. Just throwing it out there.
This last Memorial Day in Badeville, Kentucky, I lost my brother-in-law back in October, and he was a World War, or not, a Vietnam veteran. I'll get it right in a minute. And Memorial Day, they presented my sister with a flag with his picture on it and his dates of service. And they have those all over town flying, like Brent said. And they're such a small city or town, but they do so many great things. And they actually have a huge memorial wall as big as this over there. And that was all done. My brother-in-law got all the money and got all that done for that little town. So they honored him in a big way. But those flags with faces on them and dates of service are amazing.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, and we have.
And the people could buy those.
Yeah, we have looked into that. We actually were approached by a company that would basically run the program for us.
Yeah.
They would do the processing of the payment, and then they would print the banner, and then we would have to hang the banner.
And we would probably have time to do that between now and Veterans Day, maybe?
I don't know that we would be able to get the program up and going that quickly.
See if there was
When
interest.
when they had talked about it, it looked like it was like a 90-day lead time before we could get it up and going. With gathering all the information for who the names are, what the photo looks like, the dates of service, and then printed and then hung. So
Show you a picture.
we have looked at that. If you guys want to delve further into it, I can bring you back some more information about it.
Yeah.
I think it would be good.
Or
So
even if we-
right now, Veterans Day, we're still going to do the ceremony, pastor, speaker, and then just leave it open-ended, and whoever wants to get up and say anything, they can.
We do a banner across Main Street like we used to. That just says
so-
Veterans Day.
So we're having some issues with the
Right.
overhead banners, over the road banners. I know that Chris and his staff have some struggles with putting stuff up over the road. So I don't know that we would be able to do that. We'd have to double check with him. But we had talked about doing that for National Night Out and for the 4th of July, and both of those were kind of kiboshed because of the difficulties that they have hanging the banners.
Now, can we get some banners that are just red, white, and blue to put up and down Main Street?
So I do know that they
Or,
do
I
the
mean,
flags.
Street, the posts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they do the flags all the way up and down Main Street. They do the flags out here in the front of the building for the like couple
Talking
days
more
leading
of
up
the
to and
flags,
the
the
couple days
flags,
after.
Them little things, they're
No, they're full size flags.
Hmm.
They're full size flags that they do all the way. They wrap it all the way around the front of the building, and then they hang them on the poles that lead all the way up Main Street. That starts here and goes all the way up to the top of the hill.
I believe there's brackets in the rec center's parking lot
Yeah.
to put those flags up as well. If
okay.
we'd have to track them down. I don't know where they are, but we could have that up as well, or try to figure out and find them to put them up.
I think that would look nice to put all of them up. And that, at least if we could do that before, and then if we can't do the faces and that this year, we could look at that for next year to get started, have the information, but as long as we have the flags up. But it would've been nice if we could've gone over Main Street saying Veterans Day, more or less come and put the date on it.
And
Okay.
Mike, can we utilize the big signage over on 75?
You mean our sign? I think Aaron actually does put that information up on our
No,
digital.
I'm talking about the company on 75 that has that big. The
Oh,
one
the
Terry-
crane?
The one Terry doesn't.
Those billboards?
Key
We
ads.
actually have one on both sides. We have one by Tyler and then one on the other
I
side, the
have
one
one
that
in
was
my
done by,
parking lot down there,
by
actually.
Jim Arnett.
Yeah, well, in my parking lot.
We
The
could
one that I
utilize
didn't like.
those, that would bring awareness off of
I could,
75.
Aaron and I could talk to Jim.
We
Arnett.
do run stuff on those for other events. We have not ran it for
For veterans.
the Veterans Day, but I can reach out to those contacts and see what it would look like to cost for us to run on those those billboards.
Because that would bring awareness from 75.
Yeah, and I think Jim sold that, didn't he? Jim Arnett.
Jim no
doesn't
longer
own
owns it.
that
It's
anymore.
Outdoor Network now. Outdoor Network.
Yeah, he sold it down to him.
Yep, and Key Ads owns the other one, and we work with both of them.
Well, does that answer our question so far?
It's somewhere.
Somewhere?
Yeah, I mean, yes, keep doing the thing, and then just leave it open-ended, so we'll just go with that.
Yeah.
And like Dave suggested, see if we can get a Boy Scout troop to come in.
We've reached out to the Boy Scout troops. Again, it's very hit or miss with the Boy Scout troops.
Well,
I could probably get one from the one that comes in here and leads us by the pledge. I
I
could reach
guess
out to
on,
them.
if it's on a Saturday, now, when it falls during a work week, they're gonna be at
course, they're
school.
gonna be at school.
We would not be able to get them.
Right. And usually what's happening too, when Memorial Day falls, they're usually doing something within their city already for their Memorial Day ceremony.
Right, some of
So it's really hit or miss, like I said, is to get a group to come out and participate. I can reach out to the ones that we've done before to come here and participate for Veterans Day, but I would almost guarantee you that they're probably booked in their own communities.
Well, I think if we have some direction for the next one.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you. The next one is to amend the table of organization, COLA.
Yes, thank you. This is just a request for legislation to update the table of organization to increase the pay rates on the scale by 2% for our cost of living adjustment. This is a budgeted item, and we do this every year, so so that's all I have, unless anyone has any questions. This would go into effect August 27th and include September 1st. That would be the pay period to include September 1st.
You have any questions or comments?
No, I'll make a motion that we have legislation prepared to amend the table of organization cost of living adjustments.
Okay, any other questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Mayor Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes?
Mrs. Allen?
Yes.
Mrs. Witt?
Yes,
Mr. Daugherty?
Yes.
Mr. Burchett?
Yes,
Ms. Marcus?
Yes. The final item is the rental agreement for the Head Start program.
Yeah, this is, well, thank you. This is just a cleanup item that we've done for about 6 years now. The Miami Valley Child Development Center is looking to extend the facility rental agreement for the June Jordan room for the 2023-2024 school year. We, last year, if you remember, changed the pricing from $650 a month to $1,000 a month. And we just want to continue with the Head Start program for that $1,000 monthly fee. Staff is requesting legislation be prepared to extend the facility rental agreement through June of 2024 with the 6th addendum agreement. So if anybody has any questions.
Yeah, the only question I have, this says the use of the Jordan room, but don't they use 2 rooms?
They got the June Jordan room in the hallway right outside of it.
Somebody said that they had 2 rooms and they keep one locked with all their stuff in it.
I don't think so.
Okay.
We have the west room in the corner that's the closet, that's our stuff.
Oh,
Yeah. No, they just have that area, or that room, and then, yeah, just those cabinets or whatever out in
Okay.
the hallway. So, that's it.
So did we want to, I remember last time that, there was quite a discussion on the price and whether or not we wanted to increase it again this year or not. I don't know. We want to do that?
I mean, we increased
We
it
increased it.
$350 last year.
Yeah.
I wouldn't think we need to increase it again. Like I said, that's a pretty substantial amount, I feel like, last year, from being $650 to $1,000 or to $1,000.
That $1,000 does cover the expenses then.
Yeah, I would say for the most part. Probably not all of them, but as far as electric prices and gas prices going up, but the building's open, so we would be open.
I'll make a motion that the proper legislation be prepared for the next regular council meeting.
Any other questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Allen?
Yes.
Mrs. Witt?
Yes,
Mayor Murphy?
Yes,
Mr. Burchett?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes,
Mr. Darty?
Yes.
Ms. Marcus?
Yes. That's the end of our business. Did anybody want to appear before council? I have no takers, so we'll go into staff and council reports. Start with the fire department,
Nothing to report.
police department,
I have nothing, ma'am. Thank you.
parks and rec.
Yeah, the only thing that I have is we did cancel the movie night in the park for June, the month of June. We are rescheduling that for after Boo Bash. So the night of Boo Bash, we will show a Halloween movie to add to the event as well. So that's it.
okay.
Community development,
Nothing to report tonight, thank you.
clerk of council,
I have nothing, thank you.
law director,
No report, thank you.
finance director.
Yes, just something quick here. The departments have started working on their budgets for our planning process, so we're going to have a series of meetings here in the next couple of weeks, and so we are underway with that, and we'll be spending the next couple of months working on our budget. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. City manager,
I have no items, thank you.
mayor,
I have nothing to report, thank you.
Mr. Burchett,
No report, thank you.
Mr. Dougherty,
No report, thanks.
Mr. Miller,
nothing further, thank you.
Ms. Witt,
nothing to report, thank you.
Mrs. Allen.
No, nothing more, thank you.
I have nothing either, so this meeting is adjourned at 6:37.